And we welcome you to WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium in Cary, North Carolina, home to North Carolina FC, 2-4-2 in the USL season as they welcome Atlanta United to 2-5-3, and what that means, 3 points, so important tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former National Player of the Year at Maryland, where he won a national championship, talking about Jason Gary. And Jason, here we go. As you take a look at the tables, North Carolina FC and Atlanta at the bottom, but 3 points jumps them right up.
Yeah, it's a really vital home game for this North Carolina FC team. They've got to start getting some points in USL standings to start moving up. A lot of teams bunched there at the bottom, so a win tonight can move them up several places.
They made a big move to pick up Kyle Becker, and I think he has been important to this team.
He sure is. He can play any of those midfield positions. He's a dangerous attacking player, but really you can fit him in playing defensive midfield on the left side, right side, or in that attacking position. He's a guy that just has a ton of talent and ability, got MLS experience. He knows what to do in those key situations in the game to make something happen for this North Carolina FC team.
Yeah, he's also showed the ability to score goals, to deal the dish as well. He's got assists. He's been doing it all for North Carolina FC, Kyle Becker. Well, once again, North Carolina FC, Jason Gary will face a former teammate as Jose Carranza will start for Atlanta too.
Yeah, just like Kyle Becker, though, Carranza is a very dangerous attacking-minded midfield player. Coach Colin Clark talked about he's a little worried of Jose Carranza playing with this Atlanta United team coming back to Cary. Obviously, the players here for North Carolina FC are very familiar with him, but he's very technical, very creative. He's going to be a danger man tonight for this Atlanta United team.
He is playing key minutes for Atlanta United too. We'll have the formations and the kickoff when we come back. North Carolina FC, Atlanta United 2.
In soccer, every second is monumental. Every moment of the 90 minutes is backed up by months of training, hours of perfecting passes, weeks of tuning your touch. You put in the time searching for your next advantage. We provide the gear that helps you earn it.
My name is Clint Dempsey, and I play for Seattle Sounders. If you played on a club team, it gave you an opportunity to get a scholarship in soccer. So going to Dallas, so we lived in Nacogdoches. I went for my first tryout, not really thinking I was going to make it, and ended up making the team. And then it was the reality set in. My parents were like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to be able to drive 3 hours one way and 3 hours back? I was just lucky that I had parents who were crazy enough to drive me that far to get that coaching. See more at celebratingsoccer.com.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
Welcome back to our Friday night show here. USL, North Carolina FC, Atlanta United 2. Alongside Jason Gary, I'm Dean Linke. Referees bringing the game ball out. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here for both teams. Start with North Carolina FC, your home team.
Yeah, absolutely. Going with the 4-4-2, Daniel Rios, Donovan Owolo. They're looking to get the goals for this team. Daniel Rios has been on a good run of form, scoring goals. And I look in the back line. It's been a pretty solid back line. DJ Taylor, though, getting some minutes there right back could be key.
And the starting lineup for Coach Donnelly in Atlanta United 2. It's difficult. He's got academy players. He's got first-team players. He's got to mix in everybody.
Yeah, he sure does. He earns his dollars, doesn't he, the coach for Atlanta United 2. Jose Carranza, though, a guy this North Carolina FC team is very familiar with, having played with North Carolina FC last season. Should be an interesting game here. A lot of moving parts here for Atlanta United.
And the head coach for Atlanta United 2 is Scott Donnelly. He coached at SIUE, he coached the U.S. Soccer Youth National Teams where he got to know Jose Carranza, and now is in his first season with Atlanta United 2. He remembered actually coaching Jason Gary in a camp. There's Colin Clark, the head coach for North Carolina FC, along with DeJuan Bader, Nick Platter, Greg Shields, Michael Milazzo on the bench.
Yeah, good staff there for North Carolina FC. This is such a critical game for them. They've got to get 3 points at home in this league to start moving up the standings.
All right, here we go. North Carolina FC in their home blues. Atlanta United 2 in their away whites. Great to be back with you, Jason, as we get set for summertime soccer. A little Friday night special here. Both teams out there ready to go. Referee with the signal, and here we go. Of course, in the Open Cup, North Carolina FC has looked amazing, right, as they're taking care of business. They just drew DC United. Unfortunately, it'll be at DC. And then as far as USL, North Carolina FC had a nice run, 6 straight games without a loss. And then their last game, they had to go to Cincinnati, and it was a former North Carolina FC player, Nazbi Abadawi, that stole the day.
Yeah, Naz had a great game on that night. But interesting, North Carolina FC has had such good success in the Open Cup. Interesting, playing at DC United. Wayne Rooney rumors circling.
He's going to have to get here quick, though, because they're going to play that game in just a couple weeks. Here's Miller back at right mid. He's played probably more right back than he has right mid, or it's been about equal, and he's at right mid today. That's got to be fun for him, I would think.
Yeah, I think Stephen Miller, he fancies himself as a forward. He scored some goals with this team. He can get forward, get in the box, puts in a great ball with that right foot.
Good little give and go. Laid down the right flank. Here comes Atlanta United. Lagos Kunga dropped over, and now Miller will clean it up. Lagos Kunga, number 23. Now it's Josef Samuel. Sent it the other way and out of bounds, but not a bad little give and go here from the visitors.
Yeah, it's always interesting. We talked to Coach Donnelly before the game. He's got a mix and match players. He's got some academy players that have come through the system. He's got USL players, some folks on loan from the first team in Atlanta. He's one of the better teams in MLS, so just a challenge. But these guys, they're fighting for playing time. They know if they put in the time, have good performances with Atlanta United too, that potential is there for a call up to Atlanta United, playing in front of 50,000 people in their stadium.
It'll go out of bounds. Pivo Due, who had played for Marlon LeBlanc at West Virginia. Nice pickup. Didn't play a ton for Jacksonville last year, but a guy who's got a nice left foot and not afraid to get forward and help Austin Deleuze on that left side.
Yeah, he does. I love his game when he's able to actually get forward. Sometimes he kind of hangs back a little bit, but when he gets forward, he's very, very dangerous in one-on-one situations. Got a great left foot, can put in a good ball. And that partnership between him and Austin Deleuze, this is a very dangerous left side of North Carolina FC's attack.
A lot of bounds off of DJ Taylor. You've seen a lot of him. We talked about the comparison between him and DeAndre Yedlin, obviously at a different level, but he's been good as well.
He sure has. He's got that kind of body frame. He's a smaller guy, but very muscular. He can get up and down the right-hand side. He's got a ton of speed. He's just got to continue to work on his communication there with Footy Danzo.
They'll roll out of bounds again, and it will be a goal kick for North Carolina FC. Good look at Alex Tambakis, who's been the mainstay first choice goalie for Colin Clark.
He sure has. I think he's done a really good job. He's growing into the role. He's still a young goalkeeper. In a history of good goalkeepers here for North Carolina FC. This is better here.
Nice combination. We put the spotlight on Becker because of his ability to play the ball into space and do it all. And here's Taylor making that run. He'll go out of bounds, though. Maybe too ambitious that time.
Yeah, I think they just need to do a little better job of finding Kyle Becker. Wherever he pops up on the field, playing in this 4-4-2 formation, he's in that attacking midfielder role.
come back to North Carolina FC for the throw-in.
Yeah, he's just straight out of bounds here. Left back, is that Jose Hernandez potentially?
Taylor trying to stay with it. Good defending work there, though, by Atlanta United 2, and it'll be a goal kick for Atlanta.
Yeah, the referee didn't like that. The ball was still rolling. You don't see that too often. On the goalkeeper. Gonna hit a stationary ball. Alec Khan there in the net for Atlanta United.
Becker had it for a moment and lost it. A rare Friday night opportunity to see North Carolina FC play. They normally play, as you know, Jason, on Saturdays, Memorial Day weekend. Good start to the weekend to come out and check out North Carolina FC. We made reference to the fact that as they start, North Carolina FC, and keep in mind it's early doors, and also keep in mind before that game against Cincinnati, 4 straight games without a loss, so they are starting to get points, 8 points in those 4 games after a rough start to the season. But here's the deal, even though they're near the bottom of the table, 3 points will jump them right up to the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. They just got to do a good job at home here. Get those points when you have the opportunity at home.
Atlanta United, a little opening, dancing with it, coming back defensively. Nice work tracking back by the front runners for North Carolina FC. What do you see in early doors here, Jason, from both teams?
It's a bit choppy from both teams, a little bit sloppy. Neither team really able to put together some possession and keep the ball, which is normally North Carolina FC. That's their strong point. They're able to keep possession, switch sides of the field, get the ball moving back and forth.
Seven minutes in, still no score. Trouble here, little nifty move. North Carolina FC back across to lose Iwolo, still loose. And how about North Carolina FC? The Cameroonian Iwolo with the goal.
Yeah, Iwolo, he's fired up. We'll see it here. I thought the opportunity had been lost. Great play by him here to play the ball into Rios. Rios just goes right around the goalkeeper here. I thought the opportunity had been lost here, but Donovan Iwolo here, great cutback. Just fakes the shot and is able to slip it through. Looks like a double nutmeg to me in the back of the net. Watch this here, just a quick cut. Defender comes at him, puts it right through his legs, through the goalkeeper's legs, and North Carolina FC off and running early on in this game.
Great point. I thought, like you said, that Rios, when he cut it back and didn't take the shot with the goalkeeper out of the cage, and they're able to slide it back to Iwolo.
Yeah, it was just good, composed finishing from Iwolo. I think if they hadn't scored that opportunity, Coach Colin Clark might have run onto the field and yelled at somebody, but good finish from Iwolo there, putting it right between the legs. It was an innocuous enough ball, just a long ball. Iwolo just won the ball out of the air to spring Rios, and Rios with the composure to set up his strike partner there.
But Danzo with the rip and out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick. So what a start for North Carolina FC. Donovan Iwolo from Cameroon. Actually talked to him coming into the stadium as he's on it right now. Just 21 years old, spent most of his life in Cameroon, spent a year playing over in Europe, and then came over with a fellow Cameroonian where the paperwork didn't work out, but he stayed and got to believe if you're Colin Clark and Kurt Johnson, the staff, you're certainly glad that he did stay.
Yeah, you got to love it. And they're playing in that 2-forward system, which I think helps. In a 4-3-3, no one's there to run onto that ball, but Iwolo won the header, and Rios, his strike partner, is right there next to him. That's what created that goal. Also to lose there with a little bit of nifty footwork.
Ten minutes in, Iwolo, carrying in his 8th match, his 4th start, came in with 296 minutes. Scored his first goal for NCFC and played 13 minutes in their 4-1 victory over Ocean City. So, you know what? You get one in Open Cup action, you get out here to USL action, you get hot, right?
That's right. What it's all about for a forward. Tend to score goals in bunches and streaks. And North Carolina FC and Coach Colin Clark, they're hoping that Donovan Iwolo, who heats up here with Daniel Rios's obviously class finishing ability, be good things to come here for North Carolina FC.
Metcalf, the captain, mixture of USL veterans, academy players that are rostered with the full MLS team, trying to get some time. One of those, AJ Cochran, who's coming back from injury, is on the bench to give numbers. Didn't expect to see him, but here's a guy who was drafted very, very high. Another player drafted very, very high. First pick for Atlanta United, John Gallagher's in the starting lineup wearing number 26 tonight from Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's playing in one of those forward positions for this Atlanta United 2 team. Scored a lot of goals in college.
There's Gallagher right there. His touch popped in the air. And Taylor does well to head it back to Tambakis. So after, just as I was asking you, kind of a choppy start for both teams, a turnover, and North Carolina FC able to pounce.
Yeah, they're able to capitalize. Good ball there.
Rios, who was able to track it down, going back to the goal, and we'll obviously see it a few more times, and we'll see it at halftime for sure as you see Rios throw in here to Iwolo. He's going to try to turn on it. It'll be dropped back, kept alive. Rios again. Deleuze is in. Deleuze trying to find an angle. Put it back. Couldn't use his left foot to cross it, so now Becker will try it, and Becker denied. A little bit of a jersey pull there from Deleuze. Would you have shot if you were Rios? You know, your body was kind of going away from it, right? When it went over left side, the goalkeeper was outside of the goal. Would you have taken that shot on a tough angle?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what you were saying, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought when he cut it back that the opportunity might have been lost, but he made a good play, and Iwolo with the heads-up play to actually not shoot the ball first time, but actually cut it back and pick his spot. But yeah, I thought Daniel Rios may be able to slide and just get something on goal. There was no goalkeeper in it. He already rounded the goalkeeper. But doesn't matter now. They've got the goal.
As you said, it looked like a double nutmeg. It was 5-hole on the goalie, Can. Here's the thing, if Can can just sit down on it like Zenga sat on Vermes in the 90 World Cup, remember that one, then North Carolina FC could be really frustrated right now, but that didn't happen. It's 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-0. Doesn't matter how they go in the back of the net as long as they go in.
Atlanta United trying to show a little bit more. Kissadou. Laurent Kissadou. Now Footy Danzo. Of course, the Lansdowne boys were in town. Footy Danzo's brother was in goal for the Lansdowne boys. And after the game, still with the cameras rolling, they exchanged jerseys at midfield. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, nice moment for them. There's Carranza. We haven't seen him get on the ball much here in the first 13 or 14 minutes.
Got to be a big moment for him, obviously playing here last year. And there were times when he was spectacular and he was in favor, then fell out of favor, then tried to work his way back in, and maybe a fresh start for everybody was good.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you need that fresh start as a player. I just think he needs to find the ball more often. Sometimes he can disappear out of the game.
Speaking of former North Carolina FC players. How about T. Shipolani re-signing with North Carolina FC on the bench? And the human highlight reel is available, wearing a new number, as he's wearing number 22. He doubled down, right? Went from 11 to 22. And here's the deal, though. Everybody knows that he was pretty famous for wearing his shorts backwards. T. Shipolani, there you see him right there. He said he can't wear his backwards because they'll fine him. So he said if he gets in and scores a couple goals and can afford to, right?
Flip him around.
There you go.
But really, honestly, anyone in the old NASL or USL, when you see him come into the game at about the 65th minute mark, it's terrifying for defenders.
Yeah.
With his speed and the way he's able to run and the step over, I mean, if you're a left or right back, you see him coming on the field, you're like, really? Bringing him on?
And that will be his role, I think, now.
Yeah,
well
absolutely.
said, Jason. Woody Danzo left for a year. He's come back, and with Connor Tobin finally getting back healthy, the pickup of Woody Danzo and then Michael Harrington and Iwolo looking for the brace early. Good service. Did it with his feet, tried it with his head.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great ball there from Stephen Miller. I think Iwolo just wasn't able to get his body to shape this thing back. You've really got to get your body up and get above that ball to try to head it to the far post. Just not able to get it down. If you had that ball anywhere towards the far post, the goalkeeper's shifting. He's never going to get to it. But good early signs of Iwolo putting himself in good positions.
As you know, Jason, we talked a lot about formations, and of course Colin Clark has pretty much always gone with that 4-5-1, but you said it earlier, this switch to 4-4-2 has been good for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, and sometimes just with the personnel, you got to make some decisions, and I think it's really helped to get someone up there with Daniel Rios. It's such a lonely position playing in that center forward role with no one really around you. When you're not holding the ball and you're not keeping it, it's very difficult. But when you have another player up there, it just makes things a lot more difficult for the defenders.
Due. Now to Deleuze. Deleuze is my latest Ponce de Leon member. Remember, Capone Lowe always held that, but he's starting to look like a player that gets better with age. He's played a lot of minutes this year, Jason Gary, and he seems to get fresher with more minutes, and it's been good to see him on the field. He's had to be out there.
Yeah, he takes really good care of himself, and played in the middle a lot last year in that central midfield role. I kind of like him still out on this left-hand side. He has a really good habit of just popping up on the back post and scoring goals, and he scored more goals with headers. It's unbelievable for a player of his size, just his ability to read the game and sneak in there at the back post. And that obviously that left foot is just, one of the most talented left foots in this league.
Austin Deleuze, Wake Forest all-time assist leader. I wanted to joke with Austin Deleuze. They were talking about J.R. Smith with the Cavs, and Chauncey Billups said that you got to just force him left because he can't even use a turn signal with his left hand. But Austin Deleuze has shown some ability with his right foot, though,
He can, but there's just something about when it comes off of a left-footed player, it just looks a little better.
Sent in on bounce and handled there by Can.
It's actually a really good ball there from Dewey, though. Dewey. If Daniel Rios makes that run in front of the goalkeeper, it's an easy tap in. Yeah, those lefties, they've got something. Remember Justin Mapp, an old school MLS guy, all left foot, and we would ask him sometimes, why do you never go to your right? He's like, somebody stop me from going to my left, I'll go to my right, but no one can stop me going to my left. I said, okay, fair enough.
They're not going to stop me. Keep on going.
Oh, Sippy. Justin Mapp, South Mississippi boy.
Becker. Becker's got free reign. Go wherever he needs to go.
Yeah, and it's been better here possession-wise for North Carolina FC in the past 5 or 6 minutes.
Has indeed. Taylor back to Miller. Miller taking a look. He'll first time it, and unfortunately it'll bounce off of Miller, and he'll kick the Bud Light sign, understandably, as he thought he had earned a corner kick. Unlucky bounce back off of him.
Yeah, he put that cross in. The deflection went right off his face, it looked like. Here you go, Atlanta United, even though they've been pretty unsuccessful playing out of the back, they're going to continue to try it. This is coming down, though, from the Atlanta United first team, and Tata Martino, the coach. They want them to play the same style as the first team plays.
Kunga. Kunga trying to go between the legs of Footy Danzo, and he's seen that move before, denied. Smith. Smith, one of those players that you won't say a ton of, but he keeps it simple, works hard. I mean, that guy, when he clocks in, you will get a full day's worth of work.
Absolutely, and he's really solidified that role in that deep-lying central midfield role, which is so important when you play in this 4-4-2. He's got to clean up a lot of mess, but his passing has been excellent. He's been in the right place at the right time. I really like his game. He's still a very, very young player, and he's just growing into this role.
Throw into North Carolina FC. If you're just joining us, a goal in the 7th minute from Donovan Iwolo, the Cameroonian, just 21 years old. Fantastic work up top with his running mate in the 4-4-2, Daniel Rios.
And you can tell Atlanta United, too, here, they just look a little disjointed. Part of that's just playing with different players each game. They're giving the ball away too easily.
Becker.
Good ball.
Yeah, pretty good ball. Miller will chest it, cross it, and it's an own goal. How about North Carolina FC? They'll take it any way you give it to them. 2-0.
Yeah, and this is all about the ball here from Kyle Becker. Look at this ball. Just a little chip, puts it right on Stephen Miller's chest. Does a great job of taking it down. Miller does, and plays that ball in a dangerous area. I think if Will Crane doesn't get a toe on that and put it in the back of the net, I think Daniel Rios just passes it into the back of the net. Unfortunate own goal from the young Atlanta United 2 player. But it was coming with the pressure from this North Carolina FC team. And you can just tell it's just a little disjointed from Atlanta United 2 here. You feel for the center back. He's a young player just getting his career started, but great ball from Becker. Great take from Stephen Miller as well to put that ball in a dangerous position. North Carolina FC off and running here.
'22nd minute, 2-0 North Carolina FC. They started the season. Loss against Tampa Bay, loss at Richmond, loss versus Indy 11. Then they beat Charlotte, tied Toronto, tied Ottawa, and smoked Penn FC. Coming off a loss to the very talented FC Cincinnati team, which the word on the street is they'll be MLS next year, is what they're talking about.
Yeah,
They're
still announcement coming.
Yeah.
There, right?
They called it a major announcement with Don Garber, so you do the math, right?
Yeah, you can put that together there. Be interesting to see if they sorted out a stadium site. That was the big sticking point, I think. Assuming so.
Yeah, that'll be the key, although apparently the situation they have right now in Cincinnati will be good enough for short term, right?
Yeah, and Nippert Stadium is unbelievable. The fans are getting out there.
Deleuze sits that one with the left.
Yeah, you don't see that too often there. Austin Deleuze just getting the angle wrong.
Deleuze wearing the captain's armband. Connor Tobin, who looked good in the U.S. Open Cup games against Lansdowne and Ocean City. Tobin wore the captain's armband when he was out there. Deleuze, and he'll miss hit it out of bounds. Great start, though. After first 6 minutes that were choppy, it's been pretty much the team in the dark blue, your home team, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, it sure has. They're playing with some confidence now, getting possession of the ball. Important to maintain that focus here. And halfway through the first half, they need to not take their foot off the gas pedal.
This one pings around. We can tell you that Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit SelectSportsAmerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. That's SelectSportAmerica.com. A whistle against Atlanta United 2, and it'll stay with North Carolina FC. Your leaders halfway through 2-0.
Yeah, great defending here by DJ Taylor. Just gets in the pathway of John Gallagher, the forward there for Atlanta United 2. And Taylor is impressive. He's got that speed there, playing in the right back role.
Here's Harrington, and Harrington, at this point in his career, reminds me a little bit of what you did, you know, after a very successful college campaign and then time in Columbus and Houston, coming here where you wanted to live, raise your family, and you played for a year and a half, I believe, right? Or a couple years.
Yeah, absolutely. A year here with the old Railhawks. Yeah, but Harrington, he's just a calming presence there. And he's playing a little bit out of position. He's playing center back where he made his career in MLS playing left back and left side of midfield. He's a great guy in the locker room. Brings a lot of leadership.
I get the sense in talking to him, Jason, that like you, he really enjoys being here. Of course, he played at North Carolina, so he knew the area really well, but
yeah,
enjoys being back here.
Yeah, it's a great place to live.
Minute 26. The lose. Due. This is better. Handled though by Can.
Yeah, good take there by Alec Can coming off his line.
Atlanta United 2, they started the season with a win over New York Red Bulls 2-1. And then 3 draws, 4 losses in a row. Then they beat Toronto FC 2 by a score of 5-4. They lost their last game against the reigning USL champs Louisville City FC by a score of 2-1. It's interesting, they've gotten their wins against the other, quote, 2 teams from Major League Soccer, which they all have the same issue, right? Rotating players in and out and finding a little bit of rhythm.
Yeah, they do. They got academy players. You've got guys on MLS contracts, guys on USL contracts. Really a challenge for the GMs of those teams. Put a good product on the field, but it's mainly to feed into that first team. So
Miller, excellent hustle. Steven Miller, he's been feeling it. Rios.
yeah, Iwolo and Rios made the same exact run there, both forwards. Brought too many defenders around. And Austin DeLuz here sprinting down the left-hand side, wide open.
Tucking back in with it is number 23, Kunga. Lagos Kunga. Out of bounds. Lagos Kunga from Gola, homegrown player. Wish everybody a happy Memorial Day for each and every one of you and your families as well, as we also tip our hat to those that we tribute on Memorial Day for sure.
Steven Miller there just drifting a bit offside. He thought Footy Danzo was going to hit it the first time he approached the ball, and he stopped, and then the second time he drifted in an offside position.
You can get a player's perspective of all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blake Down USL YouTube channel. Check out the Blake Down. 2-0 North Carolina FC on top of Atlanta United 2. Alongside Jason Gary, Dean Linke with you. Delighted to be with you for a special Friday night edition. North Carolina FC, Atlanta United 2 USL action. Flag is up. Vasquez, the guilty party.
We haven't seen much from Brandon Vasquez. He hasn't even, I think it's the first or second time he's touched the ball. Big, powerful center forward. They just haven't been able to find him. No real possession for Atlanta United 2.
Kunga, shot from distance, and it'll fade away.
Tell you what, that thing came off with some power from Lagos Kunga there on the left foot. Tambakis is confident he's got it covered. Watch this. He really gets a good lick on this thing with his left foot. Thought it was going to sneak inside, just always drifting away.
Yeah, when he first struck the ball, it did. It looked like it was going to be there, but it leaked a whole lot, didn't it?
And Tambakis is back there saying, can I do something, guys?
Metcalf, the captain for Atlanta United 2 with the throw. And here's Kunga, who just had that shot. Now Carranza. So when Carranza was here, Jason Gary, he played more on the wing for the most part. He was out mostly on the right side.
Yeah, he did, because he's got great one-on-one ability. It's kind of tough for him.
Iwolo, flag is down. He's waiting for some help. He's going to try to switch it. And Miller's there. Becker can first time this.
Oh, I thought he was going to hit it. He tried to go it on the left. I thought he was going to hit it with his right. Good play.
Yeah, I was dialing it up for sure. I thought he was going to smoke one. Taylor with the great defensive work that Jason Gary just pointed out. Now Miller's got Smith available. He'll give it back to Becker, and Becker now will give it back to Taylor. Smith again. Smith's going to give Harrington a chance to run with it. 2-0 North Carolina FC, 31st minute.
Yeah, and this is where they want to be here. Keeping possession, spreading the field, using every inch of it. Getting the outside backs forward. See Due, he's all the way up here on the left-hand side. DJ Taylor is basically could be offside if he went forward a little bit further.
Iwolo.
Got to hold it.
Got the first one, an own goal for the second one, and Harrington comes in hard. He comes in a little reckless too. We'll see what Laurent Varga wants to do, and it's Carranza.
Yeah, and we were talking about Carranza earlier. It's difficult for him because it's almost like he doesn't have a favorite position. Is he going to be a central midfielder? Is he going to be an outside player? They're really two different skill sets, and he's kind of been moved around on every team he's been on, playing in the middle sometimes, playing on the outside other times. I think he'd like to play in that central midfield role, but he's just got to be a little more effective when he gets on the ball. A little bit more of a playmaker and make some more things happen. He's certainly capable of it, just the consistency, for me, is not there.
Becker.
Great ball.
Rios. Miller in support. Miller there now. Miller. See if he can earn a corner kick this time. Instead, he'll check it back. Rios is there. Rios has Smith available. He will use him. Smith will switch it now. Back over to Peebo Due. Due's got Deleuze in front of him. Here comes Austin Deleuze. Deleuze cuts it back to Becker. Boy, Becker, if he turns, there was Green in front of him. Becker will switch it. Okay, so Jason Gary, I realize totally different players, and the guy I'm going to compare him to is pretty special, but sometimes the qualities of Becker reminds me a little bit of Richie Ryan.
Yeah, they're similar. They got similar body styles too, don't they? They're both able to create there from the midfield role.
What's the main difference between those two?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, Kyle Becker has scored some goals. I mean, his long distance shooting is on point when he gets an opportunity to hit from distance. And his free kicks, he's got that ability to put a free kick pretty much wherever he wants. And he's Canadian, you know?
Well, if you're North Carolina FC, I mean, I get the sense that, and I was just going to say they feel really comfortable, and now a costly turnover. So what a jinx I am. Trouble, but cleaned up there by Harrington. Deleuze is there, and it'll be turned over again. And you know where I was going with that, Jason. They just looked real comfortable on the ball. I feel like maybe they got this one. A little sloppy there, but they got out of it okay.
Yeah, they just got to do a better job of just being careful, not giving away anything silly. They are in total control of this game so far, keeping possession. Atlanta United has not really threatened. Can't remember a shot on goal from them in this first half so far, but it's got to be careful. You don't want to get a little lackadaisical and give a turnover and make it easy for him. There's Vasquez, who had the opportunity. I thought he should have shot it instead of cutting it back and at least test Tambakis here in the first half.
Yeah, as far as shots, all I can think of is that Kunga fader.
Yeah.
That was not on frame.
So yeah, pretty comfortable so far in the first half for North Carolina FC.
And way outside of the 18. Pressure there from Miller. So now a little bit unbalanced here as Miller's made the run. But still, pretty good team defending to get blue jerseys in and around the 18. Harrington's got it.
Good ball.
Yeah, great ball. Iwolo. Numbers right now, 3-on-3. Becker coming. Deleuze behind. They'll give it to Deleuze. Deleuze quickly to Becker. I like that. Becker will turn. Deleuze, and he wanted it back. He really did on that left side.
Good run.
Smith and Becker. Becker and Smith. Touched on it already, Jason. Those two together have been key in the midfield.
Yeah, they sure have. And Graham Smith just brought that consistency in the center of the park.
Boy, our second jinx, yeah, sorry. Right side. Running straight downhill. Not there from Vasquez. Out of bounds, not quite sure what he was doing there.
Yeah, this Atlanta United attack, it just looks like there's just a lack of, hey, I'm going to make this thing happen. I'm going to take the shot. I'm going to be the guy. There's a little bit of some hesitation, some uncertainty there moving forward.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Here in the 37th minute, it's North Carolina FC 2, Atlanta United 2 with 0 goals. The first goal coming from Donovan Iwolo, the 21-year-old Cameroonian. Second goal coming on an own goal. Square to Carranza. See, here's the deal. If you're Carranza, you give up the ball there, you got to make yourself available for a return pass, don't you?
It just lacks a little bit of, there's just something missing from his game. He's got a lot of talent, and he just hasn't been able to put it all together. An opportunity here for Atlanta United too, but you're on a few teams now, you got to figure out when are you going to put it together. I think that's the risk for him. But you see Becker and Deleuze and some of those guys that have played a long time, they always want the ball. They're always making themselves available.
Good work there that time from Vasquez back to Kunga. Kunga now Carranza. Kunga trying to find Carranza. Carranza, the collision there with Taylor. Footy Danzo in support. Tambakis is down as that ball was able to spill in front there. A hard tackle coming in from North Carolina FC, and Tambakis may have taken a hit on that tackle, Jason.
Yeah, he's holding his head, which you never like to see. It's a good play, though. We're talking about Jose Carranza. Good little 1-2 here between him and Kunga. Plays that ball, and DJ Taylor gets there first, and I think Tambakis maybe gets Carranza's foot there in the head, right? It's
foot or his knee, right?
Yeah, it's not on purpose. Carranza's stretching out, and I think he catches it right in the face, in the jaw. That's a tough one.
Good eyes. I do think he got hit in the face.
Yeah, nothing Carranza could really do about it. He's stretching out to try to get to the ball.
North Carolina FC training staff out there give us a chance to remind you that, as you see, Colin Clark, North Carolina FC returns to Salem Stadium at WakeMed Soccer Park on April 28th. That obviously is a long time ago.
Next season.
Yeah. This one dropped in here.
And watch this. It's just Carranza, that follow through. I think his shin catches Tambakis right in the face.
North Carolina FC back here against Bethlehem Steel on June 2nd, and then Nazmi Abadawi and FC Cincinnati on June 9th. They also have a game against Ottawa Fury FC on June 13th, so there's a lot of home games coming down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to take care of business, get those 3 points. Looks like Tambakis is going to be okay. Training staff doing a good job. See Austin Guerrero over there warming up. Rare for a goalkeeper that's the second keeper there. Get to warm up a little bit in the first half.
Guerrero, who saw action in the U.S. Open Cup and looked good. Tambakis is going to be okay. You don't want to come out unless you've got to come out. You want to stay in there, and that's exactly what Tambakis will do. Into the 18, dancing with it is a Rios. Rios, who's had himself an outstanding first half. Luz lost it for a moment, we'll clean it up. Luz. Taylor. Miller driven in, pretty good ball. Iwolo was there, Rios was there, and so was Deleuze. Near post, right down the middle, far post recovered there.
Yeah, that good coverage. I think Iwolo, I think he's a little disappointed. I think he missed the header on that near post.
Due over to Deleuze. Like a handball there from Vasquez, but no whistle. Referee had a better look than we did. 42nd minute. Smith first, but won back by Atlanta United. Kunga, who's probably had as much life as anybody in a white jersey.
Yeah, he's really the only one that's making anything happen for Atlanta United.
Metcalf. Here's the thing, after saying all that, if Atlanta United 2 can sneak one in here in the final 3 minutes and change, forget about what we saw. It's game.
Absolutely.
Iwolo. That's a pretty good clearance right there. He's got some confidence, Jason Gary. I walked onto the field with him and tried to get to know him a little bit. As I told you, spent that 1 year over in Europe and now here, and 21 years old. That's young, right?
Yeah, it is. And you just, as a forward, it just, when you're scoring goals, life is good. And if he can continue to do that, and his confidence will continue to get better and better.
Metcalf. Now Kunga again. Kunga will go around Due. Due's got some jersey there. Now he's got to let him go. Kunga. Buddy Danzo saving the day. Kunga's a one-man wrecking machine right now. Rios gets there first. Atlanta United 2. Now the foul on Iwolo, and Kunga almost made it 2-1 himself.
Yeah, he sure did. What a great run from him. And then in the end, this foul here, this is just Donovan Awolo being a young player, just not ready. He's not anticipating that ball is going to come to him. He's forced into the foul because his positioning was not right. But Kunga's been all over the place here. Awolo, he's just got to be ready for that. He can't allow the defender to jump in front of him and cause the foul there. Gets his body position right. He's able to hold that ball. Now a dangerous opportunity for Atlanta United here right before halftime to get back in this thing.
That's going to cause Colin Clark to get off the bench where he was feeling pretty comfortable sitting next to DeJuan Vader and Greg Shields and Michael Milazzo and Nick Platter. There's Colin Clark directing traffic here, trying to make sure that the scoreline stays the same and Tambakis can keep that clean sheet. Might be too far to shoot it, but you never know. Just a two-man wall right here. I don't think he's going to shoot it. He's not. Cody Danzo is there. What a weapon he is. Such a big, tall defender.
Yeah, he is, and he reads the game very, very well from that center back position. Played a lot of games, Cody Danzo has.
Throw in, kind of a late whistle there. They'll call it on Becker, and now it looks like he's had enough.
That's soft to me. I'm trying to remember another foul Kyle Becker had.
Yeah, he started playing around. And
I don't even know if that's a foul, but referee very animated there. I'm trying to remember another foul. Maybe one more in the game. Certainly not 4, 5, 6, 7 like he was intimating.
Well, plus that was not a bad
I
foul.
didn't think that was a foul either.
Usually it would, something kind of major would trigger a reminder for everything else.
That's what Becker's saying right now. What are you talking about, man?
To number 10, Kyle Becker.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Got 3 minutes of added time. And we've played almost a minute of that added time. Kunga denied first time, stays with it, still kept alive, and Tambakis saves the day. It was Kunga again over to Vasquez, and Tambakis with the save.
Yeah, it sure was. Vasquez has got to score this ball.
Now Iwolo right down the middle to Rios. Tough ball to handle with 2 or 3 white jerseys, one on each shoulder.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Obviously a set play they've worked on. Kunga does a great job here. Gets this ball going the back post. Vasquez, he's just got to score that. He's got to lift it up over the goalkeeper. Tambakis, great save though, being in the right place at the right time. And you see Vasquez, he knows he needs to do better there. Great opportunity though for Atlanta United too to claw their way back into this game. That would have been huge right before halftime.
I mean, make no mistake, it's like Kunga's here, Kunga's there, Kunga's everywhere, right? I mean, it was right side, left side. Jason, on that last opportunity, he took a shot, got it back, and weaved through 4 blue jerseys.
Yeah, he's been excellent for me. And make no mistake about it, the Atlanta United, the first team coach will be watching these games. They're watching Kunga, though trying to break into the starting lineup for that team is pretty difficult with Almiron, Josef Martinez. I mean, these guys are unbelievable about Kunga, that when you get those games and you're making an impact in the USL, people take notice.
Harrington.
Flick.
Rios.
Take him on.
Iwolo. Now Rios. Iwolo was making a run, middle of the park. This time Rios decided to take the shot. Remember last time he dropped it back over. And real quick, if you're Colin Clark, as we count down the final 20 seconds, are you still upbeat because you got the 2-0 lead, or are you a little down because Atlanta United, they looked pretty good the last 3 minutes?
Yeah, I think he's going to hammer them at halftime, to be honest with you. I think he's going to say, hey, we got 2 goals and we took our foot off the gas pedal, gave them 2 fairly good opportunities to score a goal. And I think he's going to get after him at halftime and remind him this game is far, far, far from over.
So there's Colin Clark.
What do you think, Dean? Think it looks like happy camper?
No, it's probably a good thing we're not interviewing him right now because it might be a short one. As it is, we'll send it to break. It's North Carolina FC 2, Atlanta United 0 here at the half. Stay with us, everybody. Young and old having a great time here at Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. Special Friday night edition of USL action. And North Carolina FC has looked strong. They lead Atlanta United 2 by a score of 2-0. Glad to welcome you upstairs. Hello, everybody. Dean Linke along with the president, general manager of North Carolina FC, Kurt Johnson. And Kurt, first 45 minutes in the books. First 5 minutes a little choppy for both teams, but then North Carolina FC looked really good.
I thought it was very good, yeah. Ball possession was great. The finishing was there, very composed in front of the goal. Exciting half for our fans.
So when I got here, I actually walked onto the field with Iwolo, got to know him a little bit, only 21 years old, and he's liking it here, and he's looked good.
You know what? He's so raw, but so talented. I mean, the athleticism, the want to, the fight, the desire, and then he finishes off beautifully in front of the goal. Very good in the air, getting stronger at possession and finding the right player, but we like him a lot.
Nice to be back home in USL action because it's been 25-plus days before we've had a USL game here. Atlanta United 2 in here now. That rivalry can get going.
Well, it's in our DNA. As you know, you grow up in the Triangle, you grow up in Raleigh, you grow up in Winston-Salem like Austin, Raleigh, Dre. You know, all of our guys, they're battling Atlanta every weekend. They're battling Charlotte, Richmond, Charleston. And so it's special to be able for these guys to grow up playing against these players. And I've watched a lot of the Atlanta United players grow up. I mean, it's special to see that out on the field, to have that type of rivalry potential. And, you know, incredible what Atlanta United has done on the MLS side. Arthur Blank, Darren Neal's fantastic job, right? Everybody loving that, raising the bar. Kings of the South on the MLS side. We feel like we're Kings of the South on the club side, okay? So we've got a lot of pride in what we've built over 40 years here, and we feel as though that linchpin in our MLS bid, one of the linchpins is certainly the fact that our overall soccer club is so strong with so much more potential.
So well said. Another big key right now is the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Of course, 2 up, 2 down for North Carolina FC. We'll take a look here on your screen at some results for the U.S. Open Cup and upcoming games as well. But you see it right there, DC United on June 5th.
Huge opportunity. We love it. We love the fact that we're heading there against a good DC United team. And a game that we think we can win, certainly. Bethlehem still coming up in a week. They come fast and furious right now, and we obviously look forward to getting another chance at Cincinnati at home on June 9th.
Of course, right now, early on, you can't even pay any attention to the standings because all you got to do is get 2 or 3 wins, and you're right back in that playoff picture. Easy.
Yeah, no question. It's about how we're playing, right? And I think 4 out of 5 without a loss. 2 of them happen to be Open Cup games, but they're meaningful Open Cup games, as they all are. We like the way our guys are playing. Tough result on the road in Cincinnati, Nazmi with 2 screamers, and we move on. But so far in the first half, a well-played half by our guys, starting on the front foot, and we'll have to be just that good in the second half to get a win here.
Quick 15 seconds, North Carolina Courage, outstanding to start the season.
Outstanding. More to do. 2 more away games in this incredible 4-game road trip. 4-3 win on the road a couple of nights ago. 2-goal lead, and then we win it late with a 4th goal. What a start to the season.
Great stuff as always, Kurt Johnson. Busy Week 10 a week ago in USL. Let's take a look at the highlights of USL Week 10 right now.
If you ever wondered what 102 appearances for your club looks like documented, there it is in TIFO right there. The Brad Ring.
Oh, and it's a goal. What a strike from Los Dos. Efrain Alvarez has come into the game. 15-year-old strikes it. Now Alvarez with a shot. And what a strike by Alvarez, who now has 6 goals in the last 3 matches.
Nazmi just outside the 18. Strikes it with his right foot. And right on cue. A huge goal.
And finds Langsdorff. He takes the shot and puts it in the back of the net. Langsdorff has a brace in the first half.
Takes hesitation, step, and it's the save produced by Eric Dick.
Saved by Crapo.
Put numbers back. Will strike it and put it in the back of the net. Marvin Loria likely seals the 3 points with his first ever goal in USL.
This one comes into the center. There's your goal. The goal. The goal for OKC. The header by Callum Ross. The streak is over, and the Greens have the lead 1-0. The power outage is no more.
Into the box, takes the shot, and in the back of the net, Aguilar trying to keep it out. The shot taken, and what a save!
Doubles off with Gallagher. Palmed aside by Ranchette.
Slip one into the ball, gets by, and into the back of the net.
Fans enjoying it here, and if you were watching those highlights, you certainly got to enjoy USL action. Some big-time goals coming from Week 10. The score here is North Carolina FC 2, Atlanta United 2-0. We'll take a look at some other scores around the USL. Ottawa Fury with a halftime lead over Bethlehem Steel, FC Cincinnati and Louisville. That'll be a great game coming up as well. Toronto FC 2, Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's around the league this weekend. Let's take a look at the standings for the USL, and you see right there the first 8 teams make the playoffs, but all it takes is a couple wins at the bottom of the table to get right there. FC Cincinnati, though, the talk of the town with those 20 points. Louisville with 19. Welcome you back upstairs. Now joined once again by Jason Gary as well. And Jason, as you look at the standings, you hear Kurt Johnson's comments talking about Atlanta United 2 and Toronto 2. I mean, these developmental teams for Major League Soccer have been big.
Yeah, they sure have. And it's difficult, that we talked about in the first half, for the coaching staffs, for these teams to kind of put the players out there, whoever's available that week. They've got to figure out a way to put these guys together. And I think Atlanta United tonight, they just got to figure out a way to get back into this game, get a little bit of possession. They showed pretty well there in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the half.
All right, what a great segment. Great to be with Kurt Johnson and a look around the league, USL style. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with our first half highlights. North Carolina FC 2, Atlanta United 2-0.
In soccer, every second is monumental. Every moment of the 90 minutes is backed up by months of training. Hours of perfecting passes, weeks of tuning your touch. You put in the time searching for your next advantage. We provide the gear that helps you earn it.
My name is Clint Dempsey, and I play for Seattle Sounders. If you played on a club team, it gave you an opportunity to get a scholarship in soccer. So going to Dallas, so we lived in Nacogdoches. I went for my first tryout, not really thinking I was going to make it, and ended up making the team. And then it was the reality set in. My parents were like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to be able to drive 3 hours one way and 3 hours back? I was just lucky that I had parents who were crazy enough to drive me that far to get that coaching. See more at celebratingsoccer.com.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, Disaster Recovery Services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
Halftime here at Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. It's North Carolina FC 2, Atlanta United 2 with 0 goals. Nice first half for your home team, North Carolina FC. Fans having a good time. Let's take a look at our first half highlights.
Yeah, here was the first opportunity. Great job here from Donovan Iwolo. Wins this ball in the air. I thought Daniel Rios was going to finish it. He gets around the goalkeeper, decides to cut it back. And Donovan Iwolo again with another cutback here, fakes the shot. And then a double meg here on the goalkeeper and the defender, puts it in the back of the net. Great movement here from Iwolo right through the legs of the goalkeeper. And a great start for North Carolina FC.
21-year-old Cameroonian with a nice celebration. And guess what, Jason Gary, they weren't done.
Yeah, they sure weren't. This was Kyle Becker. Ball here turns over. Great work from Graham Smith. He finds Becker. Becker gets his head up, puts a pinpoint pass onto the chest of Stephen Miller. Does a great job taking it down, putting it in a dangerous area. And then Will Crane there, the center back for Atlanta United, puts it in the back of his own net. I think Daniel Rios might have scored if he hadn't put it in the back of his own net. But North Carolina FC off and running, 2-0.
Late in the game, though, Atlanta United 2 showed a little something. Kunga was really good.
Yeah, he really was. That was a good opportunity for him, but he was dangerous on this right-hand side, and he popped up on the left-hand side, but good opportunity from him there. Here's another good opportunity here. Jose Carranza is making some things happen in the middle of the field. Good ball in again from Kunga. Tries to get to it. See that injury there a little bit for Tambakis. This ball is slipped in, but the goalkeeper and DJ Taylor is right back doing a great job coming up with the save. But the best chance of the game here was for Atlanta United right here. Kunga makes something happen out of nothing, just surrounded by players. And Brandon Vasquez has really got to finish this thing. Look at that, surrounded by 5 or 6 players there. And Tambakis comes up with the save where I really think Vasquez, should have done a better job there.
And how about this? You look at those first half stats and some late shots from Atlanta United. They actually have one more shot than North Carolina FC.
Yeah, but really that first half, the first 30, 40 minutes there was dominated by North Carolina FC. They've got to get back on that. I think Coach Colin Clark probably had a word with his players at halftime. Said, we're not out of this thing yet. We're up 2-0, but as coaches say, the most dangerous lead in soccer being up 2-0. We'll see what Atlanta United can mount here in the second half.
And here we go. With that, we start the second half. Atlanta United 2 back out there in their white uniforms. North Carolina FC in their home blues. They lead it 2-0. You'll see now Andrew Carlton coming in for Kissadoo. So a change made by Coach Donnelly for Atlanta United 2. Their first change of the game. And that substitution coming for Atlanta United 2. North Carolina FC would like to thank Continental Tire as well as their official hotel partner, Summit Hospitality, for bringing you tonight's game on WRAL2 and other platforms.
It's cooled down a little bit out here as well, Dean. Be a good second half. Both these teams with a lot of energy. See if North Carolina FC can get back with keeping some of that possession, moving the ball around. Get Kyle Becker involved, get these outside players, Stephen Miller, Austin DeLuz, get them involved a little bit more in the game here in the second half.
Cody Danzo paying it long, 1-0 by Atlanta United 2. Vasquez, who had pretty good opportunities, they're going right back to Kunga. Got a little bit too strong. Still Tambakis in the goal for North Carolina FC. Carolina FC will be back here on June 2nd, 7 o'clock to face Bethlehem Steel. Tickets to that match are on sale now. Call the Coastal Credit Union box office, 919-454-8144. 48th minute. More great work here from Atlanta United 2. Vasquez again. Not on frame though, it was deflected though. It'll be a corner kick for Atlanta.
Yeah, that looked awkward. It looked like it might have gone in the back of the net. Brandon Vasquez there. Nifty little footwork, deflection there, took it behind the goal. And United though, starting this second half on the front foot.
Yeah, very similar to the way they ended it. As mentioned, we weren't sure Colin Clark was going to be super happy despite the 2-0 lead because it was a little shaky last 5 minutes. Wolo, the goal scorer, tries to clear it, unsuccessful, so drop back in, but strong. It'll be a goal kick for North Carolina FC. If you want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL, make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Kunga. Aranza. John Gallagher, I just do not feel like I said his name short of the one sort of tip of the hat for being an early round pick and what he did at Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's got to get involved in the game a little bit. Really, it's been all Kunga there on the other side of the field. They just haven't come down this left-hand side very often. But he's a finisher, though. He's just waiting for that one opportunity, get in a dangerous situation, put the ball in the back of the net. I think for North Carolina FC, they've got to up their pressure right now. They've got to up their tempo a little bit. It's a little lackadaisical. They're standing off players too much. Need to up the intensity level for me. It's good work there by Iwolo, though, to win that ball back, draw the foul.
You have watched this partnership with Iwolo and Rios over the last several weeks. How's it looking as a former forward?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, that first goal was a classic, two center forward combination. Iwolo winning the ball, Rios running off of it, and then finding his strike partner. But they really haven't found each other from passing very often, except for that goal. They just haven't found each other's feet yet. I think that's just a function of North Carolina FC not having enough possession in this game.
Miller. Smith, good ball, just too strong for Taylor. If he is just able to nick it right with that right foot and push it forward, he's got the speed to go get it.
Yeah, it was a great run there from DJ Taylor. Saw the opportunity, and Graham Smith tried to pick him out, just couldn't quite find him.
Vasquez will switch it. Leg is up too early there. Once again from Vasquez, trying to make something happen. Seems to be pressing just a little bit though.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit frustrated. Had the opportunity in the first half, but really hadn't seen a lot of the ball either. That was an awkward play. Everyone thought the ball was out of bounds. And everyone stopped playing.
Yeah, I thought it was out of bounds as well.
Too. And the linesman looked at Austin to lose it. It's not out of bounds. Picked it up.
Ron Varga let it go. Jordan Davis and Robert Dale on the lines. Aaron Gallagher, your fourth official. The Gallaghers, they try to play it to John and go off of him and back to North Carolina FC.
I was going to say, dude, it's such a big adjustment going from the college game to the pros, but especially for forwards and attacking players, it's a really, really hard adjustment.
Becker this time, oh, and off the crossbar, it's loose, Rios, and how about North Carolina FC, 3-0.
He loves it. That was such a center forward's goal for him. Just being a poacher inside of the box. But watch this from Kyle Becker here. Look at this strike. Takes a deflection off the crossbar. Nothing the goalkeeper can do about it, but this is being a good center forward. Rios alert to it and just finishes this to the far post. Great awareness from him. Great strike to put it into the far post.
That was clean by Rios. Able to chest it down, and
he's happy, isn't he?
He deserves to be happy. You felt something good there. Becker smoked it, and you saw Can kind of just looking up at it. Rios never stopped.
That was such a center forward. He's being a poacher inside the box, was more alert than the defenders, more alert than the goalkeeper, and he gets his well-deserved goal. Goal and assist there for Mr. Rios. Not a bad night for the center forward.
No, he has been outstanding. Rios now with his 7th start. He's got his 5th goal and his 1st assist of the season. If you're scoring 5 and 7, you'll take that.
Absolutely, and that's the whole purpose of him coming here, right? Coming from Mexico, he wasn't getting playing time down there. Comes here, he's getting an opportunity to play game in and game out, and he's got the ability to finish. I really, really like his game, and he's building some confidence here. You see him chasing as well.
Hernandez, wearing number 13. Yeah, Rios on loan from Chivas Guadalajara.
Good tackle from Stephen Miller there. Great pressure from Graham Smith as well on Jose Carranza.
I think Miller has had an outstanding game. I mean, Miller, to me, the way I see him in this game and other games, you know, as you talk about these teams that feature academy players, he's a step or two ahead of the opposition.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's the type of guy you want on your team, right? He can play any of those positions along the right-hand side, but he's always going to work hard, always going to be in the right spot. And DJ Taylor, great spot from him. That was too easy. Read that play all the way.
Yeah, and he was able to deaden the ball as well, keep it, try to make the long outlet pass to Iwolo. Here's Ibo Due, who's been steady as well. Now, Due's going to make a run. Just remember him as he's now behind to lose. It's Due, and he'll get it back.
Yeah, this is good from North Carolina FC, though. Switching the point of attack, going down one side, bringing it down the other, keeping possession, spreading this Atlanta United 2 team out. Ball from Miller again.
Taylor, DJ Taylor, good first touch! It looked like Iwolo had a good opportunity. Rios was near post. I'm not quite sure where that one went or who it went off of.
I think Iwolo's a little confused. I thought it was a great opportunity. What a ball there. I think it was it Taylor there, finding himself in a great spot. Look at Iwolo. He pulls his run. I think he just mishits it, and then it ends up hitting Rios in the back. That was awkward. He just didn't make great contact. Donovan Iwolo had the whole far side, far post open. DJ Taylor again getting forward from his right back spot.
I want to thank North Carolina Education Lottery, as their Carolina Keno gives you the chance to win up to $100,000 every 5 minutes. Visit nclottery.com to find out where you can play Carolina Keno. Knocked out of bounds. Quick throw in. They'll stay with Tambakis. So Atlanta United 2, Jason Gary, came out of the locker room. A couple minutes, they put some heat on Tambakis in that back line for North Carolina FC, but then North Carolina FC, just like they did in the first half, gathered themselves, and they've added to the lead. 3-0 looks pretty good.
Yeah, they're in a good spot right now. I think they got to maintain their focus. Try not to give any of these turnovers away in the back.
Back across, Taylor will clear it. Corner kick, Atlanta United 2.
Yeah, good touch there from DJ Taylor. John Gallagher was lurking there on the far post.
Driven in, pretty good ball. Ball's to the top of the 18. Taylor, he's got some room. Miller's gonna break out. They'll play it to Miller. Rios is gonna join in, so is Becker, why not? The sun is down, they're feeling good. Good ball over to Rios. Becker's there, can he keep it alive? Rios still alive. He'll square it for Iwolo. Is it deflected? No, it'll go out of bounds.
Oh, Iwolo, what a great counterattack from North Carolina FC. Iwolo, he's disappointed with himself because he just mishits this thing. Great setup from his strike partner, Daniel Rios. Watch this, what a great breakout here. Rios, he's fighting Becker, just keeps it alive, and Rios uses his body, lays it back for Iwolo. Just not a great strike with that left foot. Puts it past the far post.
Left side here now to Hernandez. Hernandez wanted it back. Check it back to Carlton. Carlton gonna take a shot from distance off the crossbar. It started to lose some air and almost snuck in.
It sure did. That was wicked from Carlton. I don't think Tambakis knew much about it. Watch this strike. This thing is dipping. Look at this thing. It's rising, but then it just drops. It just drops right off the crossbar. That thing's about 6 inches from going into the upper 90.
Yeah, thankfully it was the top of the crossbar as you saw the replay, but you're right, 6 inches, it's the bottom of the crossbar and it's in. It looks like Coach Donnelly, Jason Gary's gonna make another change as he has worked number 10, Samuel, over, as it's Joseph Samuel. Samuel's going to try to come into the game the next opportunity. Joseph Samuel, he's from Ethiopia and has played with the Bethlehem Steel. Not sure how many Ethiopians are in the league, but certainly one of them. That'll roll out of bounds. Also going to make a change for North Carolina FC is Marcel Anziora, who, you think about North Carolina FC's run to the playoffs last year, obviously in a different league, you got to think about Anziora, Jason, here.
Yeah, and he really solidified that central midfield role, but I think Graham Smith coming in with Anziora's injury history over the past year or so, Graham Smith's established himself. An opportunity here to get some minutes, but he's a very polished player there in the midfield. Great at keeping possession.
Fans, put your hands together for number 6, Austin DeLuz.
Austin DeLuz is going to make his way out. As we told you earlier, he's played a ton of minutes. Samuel's going to come in as well for Kunga. And Kunga, who has been outstanding for Atlanta, is going to go to the bench.
Yeah, I thought Kunga has been their best player all night. It's been dangerous. Obviously, we're not the coaching staff, but I thought you could take out Gallagher or Vasquez, but Kunga has just been the danger guy.
All right, so Kunga's now on the bench. We're at minute 61.
That's good if you're a North Carolina FC fan with him being out of the game.
Throw in here. Handled by Harrington. Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. The result right now, if it ended, is 3-0 North Carolina FC. They're on top. This is Miller. Overlapping run from Taylor, frees up space for Becker. And those are the kind of things that you don't necessarily see on a stat machine, as Taylor created that space for Becker and then Miller got it back.
Yeah, he sure did. That was a great run again from the right back, TJ Taylor. Been up and down the right side of this field all game. Willing to make that hard run, even if he's not going to get the ball, to open up space for his teammate. Good double team there. Stephen Miller tracking back.
Smith. Come all the way back. Smith thought he was fouled, wanted a call. Cleaned up anyway by Harrington. Here's Canziora. He'll look up. He's one of those head on a swivel type players that you love in the center of the park. Miller and Taylor, that combination has been good. Becker back to Canziora. He's got some fresh legs. Canziora trying to earn a corner kick. Deflected the wrong way. Taylor will spin back with Samuel on him. A little bit of a bump. Taylor goes down. They're going to let him play. They will let him play.
Yeah, I like that from the referee, actually. Both players kind of flying in. Let him play.
Will go out of bounds. Colin Clark, who scored a goal in a World Cup. Not too many people can say that.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Right? 86.
Probably get free beer for like the rest of your life when you bring that up.
Should.
Right? You should, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
although if Eric Ronaldo brought it up, because he has also scored a goal, I don't know.
Maybe not with everyone.
Of course, we love Eric Ronaldo. In fact, remember Eric Ronaldo? You think about Atlanta,
Yeah,
he tried to help that team.
He sure did. Old Silverbacks back in the day. They've just done such a great job with that franchise. And Carlos Bocanegra down there. That whole stadium setup they've got. Have you ever seen one of those games on ESPN? That's something special.
Well, that's what
soccer in this country.
Yeah, that's what Kurt Johnson was talking about. He said that Atlanta owns soccer at the highest level in the South, and that North Carolina FC owns it at the club level, right? When you think about what they did with Gary Bude and Marlo Campbell and that combination making that mega club.
Absolutely.
But it was a great point. He was talking exactly about that. What Atlanta has done is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a sports fan and you see that on television, wow. I mean, that's intense. And that's just to watch it on TV. If you go to a game there, it's electric. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Mendez, Samuel, marked by Taylor. '65th minute. 2 goals in the first half, and then another one here in the second half. Rios with a sparkling goal. I mean, really well taken.
Yeah, it sure was. Just a poacher's goal, a center forward's goal. Ball bouncing around in the box.
Throw in for North Carolina FC. And now this is the pace that, if you remember, I started to talk about in the first half when it was 2-0 and it just felt like North Carolina FC was doing whatever they wanted. Then they had a couple miscues, but for the most part, you just felt like at every phase of the game, short of a few Kunga moves, they were better than everybody around them.
Yeah, they've just pretty much dominated in every position on the field so far tonight. Kind of playing in that, you're right, Dean, that comfortable pace where they don't feel like they need to go crazy. They keep possession, they win the ball. Atlanta United's not really threatening coming forward. Tell you what, they do have a guy that could potentially threaten on the bench for them, Devin Sandoval, who North Carolina FC fans are familiar with. That guy is a problem.
Right, yeah.
That's the best way to describe him. He is a problem for center backs. I can't imagine him not coming in this game and just stirring things up a little bit.
He's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
Yeah, we kind of walked around him and we were kind
you got to give him a wide berth, is what you do on the field.
Here is Smith. 67th minute, 3-0. There's a turnover from Smith. Going the other way.
Yes.
Yeah, with some pace. Vasquez, and he wanted it. He didn't get it. Made that run right down the middle, and I think Jason Gary stayed onside as well.
Yeah, I think he did. He made a great run. He'd be disappointed. It was Gallagher. He elects to go for the shot. Doesn't put it on target.
All right, so keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds.
Dean, you found Kelsey at your alma mater? Is that Ohio University up there?
I did. You know, back in 2014, the United Soccer Coaches took a group of coaches over to Europe to follow the World Cup. We got integrated with the German FA, the Belgium FA, the French FA, and we picked 11 students from Athens, Ohio, and Kelsey Steele was one of them while she was still in school. And now she's like the, quote, face of the USL, does a great job.
Yeah, that's awesome. Athens, Ohio.
Yeah, man.
Gotta love it.
She had an incredible skill, by the way. I don't know if you had this one. It didn't matter when or where, on a bus, right after a meal. I mean, she could fall asleep instantly. Like, I mean, just instant napper. God.
I wish. I have the opposite problem. Can't sleep.
Exactly. Here's Taylor.
Instant napper.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we gave her a hard time.
Oh, what a ball there. Oh. Becker just trying to pull something out of somewhere. I had a chance.
69th minute. And kind of going back to our theme here, it does just feel like Comfort City here for North Carolina FC. Looks, I mean, I almost feel like they're going to have to figure out ways to create some challenges here.
Yeah, there really hasn't been much of a threat from Atlanta United too. They're just some of those little giveaways potentially, but North Carolina FC is well organized. Footy Danzo and Michael Harrington in the back have been very good as center backs, just keeping everything in front of them. See if Coach Colin Clark makes another sub here. Brought Canziora in, kind of gives that more defensive presence, possession presence. The crowd might like to see a little T. Shipolani action at some point, you know?
Yeah, you think so, right? The human highlight reel.
Man.
Up 3-0.
Open game, tired defenders.
That sounds magical.
It does. We haven't seen any step overs tonight, so we can get 15 or 20 in when T comes on the field.
You know it. And obviously that's spoken from a couple guys who've been calling T. Shipolani for the last couple of years, right? Yeah.
Love the guy. Can you imagine some of the best moments with this club in its history have come from T. Shipolani, some of the Open Cup games against MLS teams.
It's back on the roster. Rios, Miller. Miller time.
Lorenzo, I think, is frustrated. Bit of a whack there at Stephen Miller. Yep, here it is. And Miller gets past him, and Carranza just reaches that leg out, chops him down.
'71st minute. 3-0. North Carolina FC.
And it's time for another alpaca free kick.
As you hear Mark Calloway talking about another alpaca free kick, Alpaca Chicken, a great sponsor of North Carolina FC. Pretty good. It always does, right?
Still trying to figure out how we can get that up here at halftime. Hasn't happened yet.
Halftime, pre-game, post-game. Beware, Brian Ware would give thumbs up on that, I think.
Right. Samuel's not anywhere close to 10 yards away. Watch out, Kyle Becker might put one off of him.
Becker, so good with his free kicks. That one handled, though, by Atlanta United 2. Taylor's going to win it. Harrington, who put on the captain's armband when Austin Deleuze checked out of the game, and that's certainly a pretty good choice, I would say. Smith taken down. Looks like we saw the bottom of the shoe there as well. Look at Smith, though. I mean, he works so hard that he didn't even like play it up right there. He was on his feet.
He's about to come back and try to get the ball. I think it's right here. I think he's going to get there first. Yeah, just comes through and just kind of cleans him out there. See if he gets any of the ball. Kind of, sort of, but it's a foul. You're right, though. Graham Smith jumped up. He's going to go chase the ball down if he didn't get the foul.
He's the only player in the league.
I love it.
Everybody else has just rolled 10 times.
Right.
Maybe not you. I don't know. Are you getting up? I mean, are you making a meal of that a little bit, are you? Or?
Getting up and cursing at the referee. Especially in my older years.
Graham Smith, New Hope, Pennsylvania, South Florida. USF.
It's another
I think he
Alpaca
played for
break-in.
George
Remember,
Kiefer, the coach now at
if
NC
NCSC
State.
scores on
He
any
came down,
Alpaca
he came into this
break-in,
team and just kind of forced his way onto this roster
He's
and
a
into the
tryout
starting
player.
line. He came as a tryout. No one was thinking anything, and you know he's kind of been their Iron Man there in the middle of the field. One of the first guys penciled in for Coach Colin Clark.
Yeah, he perks up when you ask him about number 16. He really does. Carranza, that play right there does not earn you extra time, in my opinion.
No, I mean he's so skilled, and it's almost frustrating as a fan of soccer, just because if he can't really put it all together. If he could, it'd be unbelievable.
And Bacchus is there.
'72nd minute yellow cards for Atlanta United 2. Number 28, Andrew Weir.
Another change coming for North Carolina FC. Lomas, who looked really good against the Lansdowne boys, U.S. Open Cup action. And you got to believe it was his play in that game that earns him now time in USL action.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a good opportunity as a forward to come into this game. Said Atlanta United 2 not really putting up much of a fight right now. Should be an opportunity. He's going to come in for one of these center forwards.
Samuel, pretty good move. Look at Taylor's recovery time, though. Still loose. Samuel.
Good dive by Samuel, by the way, in the box.
Totally.
But DJ Taylor, you see that first 10 or 15 steps, man, he is so quick. Great job there in the positioning.
That's so important, right, when you're playing right back or left back, because there are going to be times one-on-one where you just miss time a ball, right?
Yep, absolutely. And you're going to be playing against usually the other team's fastest attacking player, so that recovery speed is something very, very important.
So Iwolo, who's had himself a pretty good game, is going to take the shin guards out, work his way over, try to take a few extra seconds out of the game. And
Fans, put your hands together for number 7, Donovan Iwolo. And CMC substitution, the 75th minute of play. Coming out of the game,
I love that move. The referee was basically telling him, you don't need to take your shin guards off here, and was kind of giving him a little bit of ride, and then he just reached out and shook his hand.
I just want to shake your hand. You did a great job tonight. And Lomas, see what he can bring to the game. Fresh legs on the field. Iwolo, though, great shift from him. Got his goal. Was active defensively and on the offensive side.
Lomas, good start here. Lomas will drop it to Canziora. Canziora's got Miller. Different ball there. Miller might have thought first time. He goes back to his left foot. Too high there for Lomas. It'll roll out of bounds, they'll say, though, off of Atlanta United 2. Everything going North Carolina FC's way.
Yeah, it's just all set up for it. That ball was a little bit too long for the North Carolina FC forwards. Takes a brief skim off the head of an Atlanta United 2 player. Here's Coach Colin Clark. He's going to take a seat.
Fans, it's time to get excited for another North Carolina Keno corner kick brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Carolina Keno gives you the chance to win up to $100,000 every 5 minutes. Look for Keno in select locations. Here it comes, corner kick. Out of bounds. They'll go the other side. Kurt Johnson talking about the North Carolina Courage, a perfect start to their season. They return to Salem Stadium at Wakeman Soccer Park on Saturday, June 16th to take on the Utah Royals. Tickets to the match are on sale now. North Carolina Courage, you got Jason Gary hooked.
Tell you what, I mean, it might be the best club soccer team, women's club soccer team in the world that you get to watch right
period.
here.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you got international stars, captains of national teams, and they play great soccer.
Becker, Footy Danzo trying to have some fun. I like that as well. You're up 3-0. Your center back's coming forward. They want to get in on it, right?
Yeah, Footy wants a little, he gets on the score sheet. There's
Kyle,
Becker, yeah.
Good player to pick, I think, Jason, to start the show.
Yeah, he makes things happen. Saw that with the ball for that second goal. It ended up being an own goal, but picked out Stephen Miller, put it around his chest. And we say he came in, you know, he's playing a little bit of that Nazmi Al-Badawi role. You can't really replace a player like Naz with his skill and all that kind of thing, but Becker's done an unbelievable job coming into this team.
Samuel back across.
Well done by Harrington. Great spot from him as a center back. Reading that play. Smith again.
Lomas. Miller.
This referee's letting them play tonight. And 3 or 4 that could have been called. I like it though. Let the players play.
'79th minute. Hernandez, good ball over. And here we go, Atlanta United 2 showing some life just like they did late in the first half.
Yeah, it was a good ball there from Hernandez, and Vasquez finding himself with another opportunity. He's had 2 or 3 chances tonight. A few half chances. A great ball from Hernandez on the left foot. Spins this thing right, puts it right on Vasquez's head there. A little push, I think, in the end from Pipo Due. Just throws him off a little bit, not allowing him to get that header down onto the frame.
Pretty good ball here to Rios. Rios, one step too early. Bad bounce. Not able to take advantage. There's Harrington still doing the work, now wearing the armband. Now the former Mountaineer, Pipo Due, get it back, and it looks like Coach Donnelly's going to make one more change here for Atlanta United 2, Jason Gary.
Yep. Not going to see the big fellow though, Sandoval. I thought we would see him in the second half.
Yeah, it looks like instead it's going to be Chris Goslin, number 20. Samuel. Give and go. Carranza, good fight there from Jose Carranza, and effective with his pass as well. That's what you want to see out of Jose Carranza, everything in that play.
Yeah, absolutely. Touch there.
Yeah, coming the other way. Good job down the left side. Samuel will get it back, cuts it. Shot and saved by Tambakis.
Showing a little bit of life here, Atlanta United. Movement there. Josef Samuel. See it here, it's a good ball in. I thought Samuel was going to try to shape this with his right foot to the far post, but he cuts it back. It's a good strike with the left. Tambakis, though, great spot. Pushes it up over the crossbar.
Jose Hernandez is going to come out for Chris Goslin. Goslin into the game wearing the number 20 uniform. He's from Georgia.
That's another good opportunity there, though, for Atlanta United. Wide open on the back post. It was Will Crane, maybe, center back. It was wide open, just put it wide of the post.
Smith to Miller. Miller drops it down with his right foot. Good crossover, far post. And just missing it, making that far post run, I believe, was Canziora.
Yeah, great ball in from Stephen Miller again. Just whips this thing. He misses Lomas. Lomas is trying to get there on the first. Good run from him. Canziero on the back post. Just not able to keep it under the crossbar. Didn't miss by much.
Come all the way back. T. Shipalani talking to Greg Shields.
Let's give the fans what they want, you know? Give them what they want. They want to see T. Shipalani come in here and smoke some people.
Late in the game as well, 3-0 North Carolina FC. So if you're Dre Fortune, right, you kind of burst onto the scene last year, sort of following in the footsteps of Nasby Abadawi, of a homegrown boy that has done well, right? And all of a sudden Smith comes in, and that combination with Becker, and you go back to the bench. How do you deal with that? How do you stay focused and in the moment?
Yeah, he just got to stay mentally tough.
Flag is down for Miller. Rios wanted it, but too hard across. Looked like it was going to be 4-0. I couldn't tell if Miller was onside. I mean, the flag stayed down.
Yeah, but going back to Dre Fortune, you just got to stay mentally focused. It's not going to come easy being in the pros. It's a totally different world. You just got to continue to work every day. Be ready when you get your number called, because it's going to happen again in a long season. Dre Fortune's going to be expected to contribute and play a big role. Saying all that is tough mentally. It's tough.
Here we go, the human highlight reel. Back with North Carolina FC. He had been training with the club for some time, trying to work his way back, and now we'll see number 22, T. Shipalani.
Coming into the game, number 22, T. Shipalani.
Big cheers from the crowd. Gotta love it.
So we'll see with T. Shipalani if he can make any runs. They got him on the left side at the moment. Lomas has it. Lomas stays with it. Good work by Lomas. And here he is, Shipalani. We'll drop it right back. Canziora, who was on that left side, is now playing more central, perhaps where he's more comfortable. And here's Miller. Miller, who could have maybe taken a shot last time, instead dropped it too heavy to Rios, and this time does take the shot, Jason.
Yeah, you got to give him a few of those. He's worked so hard on this right-hand side. He's trying to shape that thing with his left foot into the far post, just hits the right of the goalkeeper.
Good ball, left foot. Footy Danzo helping out, and Footy Danzo, Samuel's going to keep it in bounds. Samuel could have left that go for a corner kick, and Footy Danzo thought that was out of bounds. Really tough call all the way across the field for the far side assistant referee.
Yeah, it was a good play there by the center back. He actually switched off of his player and went and killed that attack from Atlanta United.
Seventh minute. Esquez, Harrington. Harrington, just steady Eddie, right?
Yeah, he's been great tonight, I thought. He's not flashy as he used to be at one point in his career, but he's just consistent. Playing that center back role, keeps everything in front of him, reads the game very well. Be an up and down the outside. Left back, left midfielder, just, you know, sprinting up and down the field.
Yeah, that's a great point. Talked to him preseason, and he's like, with Connor Tobin out, he was digging it. He was liking the idea of playing center back.
As an old center forward, I say it's the easiest position on the field.
Well said.
All my center back friends, come on. Let's get a kick people, keep the ball in front of you.
So what about the urgency here for Atlanta United, as you saw it just kind of in bits and spurts as they take another shot, but not exactly feeling like they're down 3-0.
Yeah, there really is no urgency. We talked about it. We talked about it throughout the game. There's just, with players in and out, and you don't have a consistent team. Coach Donnelly talked about it before the game with us as well. Just don't have that consistency where you can build a group and get everybody working together. Do expect, though, maximum effort. I think a few guys tonight just haven't been there. They haven't really shown up for this game for Atlanta United.
Come on, Blue. Come on. Come on out. Come on out. Thank you.
So 88th minute, both teams using all their subs. Atlanta United 2 trying to squeak one by. Tim Bacchus late in this one. Carranza, pretty good ball, but Footy Danzel is there. And if you look over at the bench, we touched on it earlier for North Carolina FC, that'll give you a pretty good idea of kind of the chill, particularly the coaches, right?
I mean, they're laid back, right?
Yeah, Colin Clark's had his knee crossed, his leg crossed for most of the game.
I think most coaches, that's how they would prefer to spend the game, right? When things are going well, they want to be able to sit back and drink a little water and say, "Hey guys, great job tonight," you know. But I think it's been a pretty complete performance for North Carolina FC, and really a big 3 points at home. If you think about it, where they need to move up in the standings.
Here's another opportunity, bouncing around, and it'll ping everywhere. Lomas is in the middle of it, and how about North Carolina FC?
Yeah, strike partner Daniel Rios set him up. Great ball from him. Good, well-timed run. Marios Lomas, I don't know where this thing came off of his foot, his knee, his head. Watch this thing. Great ball from DJ Taylor and a great run from Rios. Just gets his head up, lays it across, and Lomas takes a deflection. He gets his head on it, and it might even have come off a defender there in the end. Let's see here. Takes a deflection here.
Yeah, I think you got to give it to Lomas.
Yeah, totally. He got his head down on it in an awkward position. Good for him. Little score sheet.
So 4-0 North Carolina FC.
I say Marios, you say Lomas. Marios.
So Marios Lomas with the goal, 4-0. Our PA announcer Mark Calloway having a good time, and we talked to you about how he played against the Lansdowne boys in the Open Cup and bringing it there.
Yep. Winning himself some time, earning some time, and he gets on the score sheet.
Played back to Tim Bacchus, who's working on that clean sheet.
Here goes T.
Yeah, that would be the capper, right? If you're a fan of North Carolina FC, would be sighting of T. Shipalani. Looks like we're gonna have 4 minutes of added time here with the score 4-0. During that goal, I was just being told to take a look at the upcoming games for North Carolina FC. They got a lot of home games coming. Bethlehem Steel here on June 2nd, FC Cincinnati, and Nasby Abadawi on June 9th, Ottawa Fury on June 13th. A lot of home games at Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park, and Cary for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, that's a nice slate of games there. They'll feel confident after coming off of this one. Pretty complete performance. But if you're Alex Tambakis, you don't want to give up a goal here. They want to keep a shutout, clean sheet, 4-0.
Here is T. Shipalani. T. Shipalani seems kind of reserved at the moment, right? He is. He's checked it back a couple of times. I want to thank our crew led by Kyle Lang, Joe Ferrara, Savannah Revel, Colin Thrash, Ian Lang, Brian Ware, Curtis Adams, Matt McCullough, and Austin Edwards. Out here early, getting ready. Great job as always. One bounce to Miller. Miller back across. North Carolina FC having some fun out there, Jason Gary.
Yeah, it's not a lot of resistance right now from Atlanta United. Stephen Miller trying to get another assist. Trying to pick out Lomas and Rios there. I'm surprised we had 4 minutes of stoppage time as well as the game the way it is.
Well, Jason Gary, former national champion, national player of the year, Major League Soccer player, played here with this club. Your thoughts of North Carolina FC? Pretty impressive. 2 in the first, 2 in the second.
Yeah, they've been just excellent, I think, all night. Offensively, getting the goals they need. That was the question, is who's going to score the goals and how are they going to come this year? And that man chasing the ball, Rios, has played his part. And the back line, though, for me has been excellent. Outside backs, Due has been great. DJ Taylor's been great. Footy Donzo, Michael Harrington in the middle, just locking things up. Really nothing for Atlanta United.
Well, and with that, I mean, it's tough though, right? You got the academy players. You've got the, as you talked about, they do such a great job at the MLS level coming down. I mean, continuity, it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's going to take a little time. I think if your coach, Scott Donnelly, I think the individual performances haven't been great, right? We saw in the first half, Lagos Kunga was the only guy that you felt like was really getting after it. You see, I mean, just from the body language there's not a lot to take from this game, and sometimes that happens. You just got to chalk it up and move on to the next one, but not a lot of great performances individually for Atlanta United, and certainly not as a team.
Well, North Carolina FC going to be here at Wake Met Soccer Park Salem Stadium, where over the years they've been phenomenal. They got more games coming, and that is the final whistle. Once again, for Jason Gary, I'm Dean Linke. Your final score from Wake Met Soccer Park in Salem Stadium. Colin Clark's North Carolina FC 4, Atlanta United 2-0. Thanks for being with us.